Godzilla, Here There Be Dragons, issue number 2 from IDW. So the best way to describe this series would be Godzilla and other kaiju versus pirates. Yeah, so if that doesn't titillate your fancy, I don't know what will. So since this is issue number 2 and I did not cover issue number 1, I'll just do a super quick recap. So there's these pirates and they steal treasure from the Queen of England, or they steal a bunch of royal treasure. And then they get blown off course and they arrive at Monster Island, where they decide to stash all their gold. Years pass and Francis Drake, the famous explorer, he hears about this story about Monster Island and all this treasure and stuff. And he gets this golden doubloon with a etching of Godzilla on it. And so he believes this story. And he goes to the Queen of England and he tells her, hey, I want to go on a quest where I basically I sail around the world to prove that the world is a globe or whatever. Basically, it's the famous quest that he did. And he wants her to support his voyage. However, his voyage isn't actually to just sail around the world, but it's to find Monster Island and where this treasure is at. And along this journey, he comes across the Spanish Armada, and he just has a hate boner for the Spanish, so he decides to attack them. And before he gets destroyed, because it's one ship versus a giant armada, a giant storm arrives and blows everybody off course. Francis Drake discovers that he's like in calm seas when he sees Monster Island, and all of a sudden Godzilla erupts from the water. And that's the end of issue number 1. In issue number 2, we continue the story. And the story is being told by this pirate who is in prison and he's about to be hanged. And so he's trying to tell this story so that they will cancel his hanging, his public execution. Because he's telling them, like, hey, if you hang me, you're not going to find out where all this treasure and stuff is at. And so he continues his story, because he was a member of Francis Drake's crew. And he tells the story of how they came across Godzilla, and he was about to fire a cannon at Godzilla when Francis Drake's like, hey, maybe that's not a good idea. Let's not attack it yet and see what happens. But someone does attack it with the cannon. And it turns out to be the Spanish Armada. Spanish Armada are actually there. They got blown off course as well. And so the Spanish Armada decide to start attacking Godzilla. And Godzilla uses his giant fire breath and just completely destroys his armada. He just wipes them all off and sends them to Davy Jones's locker. And then he decides to go away. And so this pirate continues his story about how with all their enemies destroyed, they were able to go onto land. And they were trying to find like supplies that they would need to repair their ship. And along the way, they discover just giant creatures. Like there's a bunch of sea turtles that are like as big as horse carriages, and they are about to attack it. But Francis Drake once again is like, "Whoa, wait! Don't attack the sea turtles. Sea turtles are usually not that aggressive. You don't do anything to them. We'll see what happens." And so all the pirates stay still, and the sea turtles just pass right by them into the water. And then they go exploring into the island when they see the destroyed ship that belonged to Yeats. Yeats was the dude who stole the treasure, the royal treasure. He's a person that they're trying to find. They're trying to find his ship and his gold. And while in there, they see like the crew is all dead, and they're nothing but skeletal remains. They see giant crabs and lobsters. They find a journal that Yeats had written down, and then they get attacked by giant bats. And I'm going to stop it there. But I will say that this has been a pretty fun read so far. It basically it reminds me less of Godzilla and just more of like King Kong. You know, King Kong and Monster Island. It feels more like that kind of like Peter Jackson's movie, and also the original movie, where you just have these like explorers show up on this island and they get attacked by a bunch of giant creatures. Like the creatures are normal creatures that we all know, but just gigantic versions of them. I kind of want to see more of Godzilla and Kaijus, and we haven't really gotten them yet, but I'm assuming we're going to get them in the future. So yeah, basically this is, like I said, it's pirates versus Godzilla and other kaijus and giant creatures from Monster Island. So if that sounds like something up your fancy, I recommend checking it out. It has been pretty fun so far. I mean, it's only 2 issues, but it's been 2 pretty entertaining issues. The writing itself is pretty good. The artwork is actually not that bad. I enjoy the artwork. And yeah, it's just kind of like a fun little adventure of pirates going against giant creatures. So there you go. There's Godzilla, Here There Be Monsters, issue number 2 from IDW. I recommend it. Go check it out. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. So what'd you guys think of that video? I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for a notification, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.